So typescript.tsserver.trace enables tracing of messages sent to TS server. Obviously, this setting is used to diagnose TS server issues if you're creating a TypeScript server. And the trace may contain, information about your source code. Okay, so let me show you where this shows up. First and foremost, so this shows up here in the output tab, and if we select something other than off there, we're going to have a TypeScript option here. So let's select messages, for example, and I think we need to reload. Or maybe just open the TS file. Yeah. So if you open a TypeScript file, we're going to have this option right here. And if we change to that, we're going to see some messages being passed back and forth. Now, all servers, whether it's a TypeScript server or a JSON language, or all language servers like TypeScript, JSON, HTML, CSS, they all communicate. So VS Code communicates what's called a language server, and that can be HTML and JSON and TypeScript and JavaScript and whatever. And they communicate through what's called language server protocol, which is essentially just a bunch of JSON objects going back and forth, right? And if you do something like, for example, I'm going to hover the unused variable, and this information cost unused variable, blah blah, unused variable is declared but its value is never read, is coming from the TypeScript server. So what really happened when I hovered this message was VS Code asked the server for this hover information, and the server responded back with this information. Okay, and you can see that happening there, and also notice that it's very, very fast, right? So we received the response and we got some quick info and get code fixes. And it takes about, the longest we have here is 7 milliseconds, I think. Actually, we have 17 milliseconds. It's all quite fast. So this is the communication between VS Code and the TypeScript server to provide syntax highlighting and autocomplete and linting and all that good stuff. Okay, so we have messages. And then you have verbose, where you actually see the JSON objects being passed back and forth. So if we do that again, notice that a lot of the information you see here in this hover box is going to be somewhere in this JSON object that is responded back, right? So what do we have here? Is declared, but its value is never read. And we're going to see that somewhere. Delete all unused. This is the fix. So I'm guessing that message is up here somewhere. Well, doesn't really matter. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna look for it. Probably I just passed it. Didn't see it. Yeah, whatever. So essentially what this means is that you're gonna see the JSON object being passed back and forth. Obviously this is only useful if you're debugging a TypeScript server, not the usual case. So I'm going to leave this set to off.